And we are live. Welcome to the Connection Loop. What camera am I looking at? I've got like one, two, three. I got three cameras in front of me, and I got three microphones. Folks, it is very dangerous to be a maximalist when it comes to technology. It is not. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Okay, but I do want to as part of the maximalism effort. I want to show you a trick that I do, and today I'm doing something a little bit different because I clicked record before I did some of my initial setup, because I want to kind of show people some of the things that I do. I got this light. I got this LED light, and it's kind of a no-namer brand. But what you do is you click on the button, and it syncs to, wait for it, the LED light.
Nice.
So
nice. I can see the LED light in front of me, but I don't have that cool thing, man.
You know what, man? It's maximum joy for minimal effort.
Love it.
That's my jam. Maximum joy for minimal effort. That's the founding story behind Dub. And I got to tell you, Glenn, I am extremely excited to talk to you in this podcast. Could you take a moment to just introduce yourself? And while you're doing that, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go live on Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah.
Ruben Dua is my hashtag if you guys want to pop in there. But please introduce yourself. Let's get started here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. First of all, thank you for the time, Ruben. It's great to, like you were saying, to meet you again. I feel like I already know you from the videos that we shared back and forth. But so my name is Glen. Let me say it right so my son doesn't get Echeverria, right? I'm Spanish and Polish. I don't know what the heck they were thinking to begin with. Ruben, I'm coming to you from my home office here in sunny Buffalo, New York. It is sunny, okay? So, and the Go Bills. So we're diehard Bills fans. We had a huge win against the Ravens past Sunday. But I'm a single dad of a now 16-year-old. He is my pride and joy, my love, my everything. Don't want to get emotional yet because he's very proud of him. He's a running back and a point guard who plays football and basketball, and he's going to St. Joe's here in Buffalo, New York. He has about a 96 average. I'm very, very, very proud of him.
Wow.
Very, very fortunate and blessed to have my mom and my dad still with us and here, and very, very hands-on, and my brother and his wife, and the little one is now 2 years old. So it's funny, Ruben, because the other day my son goes up to my mother and goes, "Hey, Grandma, don't forget, I'm still the first grandchild. I'm the first one." And I said, "Get out of here. You're number 2 now, buddy. She's 2 years old. You're 16. You're out. She's the new one." You know, and, but yeah, so we're real close family, and yeah, just super blessed and fortunate. And I always think of, with everything going on in the world today, to just be grateful, be grateful, have gratitude, and be from the heart, and always something that I taught my son, because I coached football, baseball, and basketball, and that was my life growing up, and is about respect, value, integrity, being transparent. Your word is your bond, and just being my Jaja in Polish, it's grandpa, but always being a good human being, a good person, and those values internally. And thank God I was raised the right way and had incredible parents and grandparents, and was very fortunate and blessed.
Amazing. Thank you for that intro. I mean, that's the ABC. You embody the ABC, which is always be caring, always be compassionate, always be consulting, always be, the C's just keep going. They just flow into my head, it's amazing,
Absolutely.
And what does that result in? It results in always being a converter, and selling, but it doesn't start with the drive to sell. It starts with the drive to care. And that's what you embody, Glenn. And I'm grateful. You mentioned gratitude. I am absolutely grateful to be on this podcast with you, because
likewise.
You sent me was it 7 minutes or 17 minutes?
It might have been longer than that. I think it was like close to 10.
and I watched and I cherished every single moment of that video. I was not passively watching it. I was actively watching your video for two reasons. Number one, because you decided to use the technology that my team has been building since 2019 with Dub. You recorded an amazing video. You had a great story to tell, a great background. I felt like I got to know your world a little bit more by seeing your background, which was all human and authentic. And you shared your story. You shared your story about the pedestal effect and how video has put you on a pedestal in so many ways. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to hear the story that you have to share. Was it Las Vegas that you mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me the Vegas story.
Yeah. So, do you want me to?
Because sometimes what happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas. It comes, it comes with us and gets on a podcast.
That's so funny. So, I joined the network marketing profession I'll take it back real quick and I'll come right to this Vegas story.
Yeah.
I joined the network marketing profession. A good friend of mine, Ken Canzoneri, he was my Allstate insurance agent. I had 2 earrings at the time. I was in my 20s. I had my Florida State jacket on. And
what was your band? What was your band?
What's that?
What band did you like? What music did you like?
Back then, it was Color Me Bad. I was a '90s guy, Boys to Men.
Nice.
I love my music.
Was Belle Biv DeVoe in there?
Belle Biv DeVoe. My son was on stage with them singing "Mr. Telephone Man," which was New Edition.
You'll never believe this.
That was my favorite song when I was 7 years old. That's a whole other story.
I was on stage with Belle Biv DeVoe.
I
was dancing with them. I swear to God, true story. I'll send you the link.
And I got to send you a link of my son at 7 years old on stage with them singing "Mr. Telephone Man," New Edition. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going into his Allstate office, Ruben, and he cleared it all out. He had children. He was married. And I said, "Cans, what's up?" And he was a fireball. He's a football player. We really connected. He was my Allstate insurance guy. He goes, "Hey, man, I found another way. I don't want to be strapped to my desk anymore. I wanted more time freedom with my family. And I'm able to, after, months and months and a year working, I'm able to do that." I'm like, wow. Well, thank God I came in today. Here's my payment. Good luck with everything you do. He goes, he's telling me that don't worry, it'll be transition. I'm selling my book of business and all that. So I'm walking out. I'll never forget this because he changed my path in life. And I had my hand on the door and he asked me, "Hey, Glenn, by the way, are you open to taking a look at a business, that could generate you some money, some extra income?" And that famous network marketing pitch. But what people don't realize is when you're in that mode and the timing is proper and right, I turned around and looked, and I had a personal connection with Kenny, and I said, yeah. And from that moment, partnering with him, and then partnering in my first company, and then learning about thinking it was the business world, when it really is a personal development course with a compensation plan attached to it, when you really get involved in it properly. And then I learned and met from Jeffrey Combs at Golden Mastermind Seminars. He had me on stage in front of about 3,000 people in Dallas, Texas with Jim Rohn, God bless his soul, one of my favorites, meeting Anthony Robbins and Ellie Drake and Todd Falcone and all these things. But through all of that, then the video technology. And here's the getting to your point, Ruben. I started, and I'll show a couple of props here, but I started Mr. Jim Kelly, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, and we were partnered together, and I started doing video. And I built the first video back in 2005, team site, right, with video tutorials and all that. And then I went over to this company, and it was called VM Direct and Hello World. And we were doing video email, video live broadcasting, and video instant messaging. And this was in 2006 when I joined it. My good friend Michael Zappia was one of the top leaders of the company, and I just decided to join him and move into that direction because I love the power of video. So in that, we're sending video emails out to the entire team. You're helping them trying to build their organization. And we were having fun. I always say, if you're not having fun, you're done. So we were doing black and white videos. I was putting my old Judge's hat on, Ruben, and having like an old cigar and saying, "Hey, Tony Bonafini here. What are you guys doing to build your business? Huh, tough guy?" We were having so much fun with it. And other people in the organization started having fun. They started getting on camera. Yeah. And we were fighting dial-up at the time still in certain parts of the country, right? But through helping people and sending video emails to your team, doing live broadcast video, what I didn't realize was when I flew to Las Vegas, Nevada, because that's where our corporate office was, and we went for our big meeting that we had, where everybody from all over, and I was helping people in Hawaii, California, Long Island. I had big organizations down there in South Beach and all that. And so my good friend, Mr. Ken Canzoneri, came with me to introduce me to the industry, came with me and my whole team from Buffalo and from certain parts of the country. And I'm walking to go to the table, the front table. And Kenny's going, "Glenn, you see everybody pointing at you? You see everybody pointing?" And I wasn't even thinking about that. You know, and I walk, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I started looking around and they're all smiling and waving at me and saying hello. Then they're all coming up. Hey, it's nice to meet you. I feel like I know you. Thank you so much for your training videos, the website you built, getting on a live, helping me build and grow my business. And that was the moment. It was like, wow. Wow, I didn't realize that. I was doing it to help people build a business, and then the power of video. And then it always leads me back to what I learned from Anthony Robbins and Jim Rohn and the 7%'s the words you say, right? It's only words, typing and text. And then 38% is voice cues. You know, oh, Johnny, I hate you, or Johnny, I hate you. And then 55% is your body movement and vibration. And if you're not there in person, to be able to do that in video and really look at someone where they can feel you and hear your tonality, that's the power of human communication. And it was so important. That was what I learned, that the power of video back then. And that was a big aha moment, as I like to say.
Amazing. I mean, you summed it up. You summed up the phenomenon that we are trying to create at scale. This is the lightning in the bottle. And we figured out a way to bring back the humanity. And the thing that I love about your story, there's a couple of aspects of this story that I really like. You know, we've all heard know, like, trust. Get people to know us, get people to like us, get people to trust us. It's a great way to build partnerships, to, gain influence, to persuade people, the art of persuasion, sell people. The hard part is the knowing. The liking is the easy part, because anyone in sales at this point has probably learned how to become likable. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe they had great mentors when they were coming up. Maybe they had some great coaching. They found their way to be sort of likable, that humble, caring, gentle, considerate, compassionate person that we're talking about that really wants to consult people. And then to trust people, which is the third thing in this, is that happens. That's sort of like a business thing. Like, here's the PDF, here's the video, here's the contract, here's the paperwork, here's the social proof, the reviews, the testimonials, all the stuff that's sort of backing us. That is like the brand. And that's what gets people to trust us. So when you think about know, like, and trust, the hard part for people who own businesses, who want to sell, who want to create the network effect, is getting people to know them. And what I think you've unlocked is this idea of putting your personality, putting your authenticity, putting your humanity onto videos or onto a stage, and then having people get to know you because they hear your stories. They learn that you're a father. They learn that you're a basketball coach and a baseball coach and a football coach. They learn about you and they get to know you. And what happens? They know you. And then the likable part, that's easy for you because you're just a very likable guy. And then the company you work for, they've done everything to build the trust element. So you've unlocked it. You've cracked the code of know, like, trust. And I'm grateful to be part of your story.
I love how you put that. It's so, Ruben, it's so true. I think that's where people, when I was in my 20s, I was just trying to learn the business tips and tricks and all that. And then I flew out to Breakthroughs to Success with Mr. Jeffrey Combs, and I started to learn, wait a minute, who am I? Why am I who? What? And when you start really opening up your heart and connecting with people, and then really caring and listening to someone, when you're in the business world, now I'm with Ingram Micro and the monster company and dealing with, with major MSPs, cross country managed service providers, and bringing their business to AWS. So there's what you just said. The first part is, getting to know me, let me earning your trust by results. Making sure that I'm there to help and assist, making sure I'm listening to what they're looking to do to help them build and grow their book of business, bring in the right resources, whatever it is. And I always go business level, human level, business level, human level. Building those relationships is also going above and beyond, if they have children or whatever. And not just saying it to say it, like genuinely from your heart. How you doing? I love you. How was this football game? How was baseball game? Sharing little clips and pictures. And I always send out video emails, introducing that or saying that, and then, talking, and then getting to the business part of it. But I think everything that you just said is 100%. And it's so important for people with all the auto generation things and all the click funnels and all the AIs. People aren't stupid either. You can't. The shortcut, there is no shortcut to success in business and in the world. I mean, you got to put in the time to build relationships, be authentic. And here's the whole gift is it's us. You know, I don't want to get religious, but the good Lord blessed me who I am. And to be able to share that with people and connect and communicate with people and care for people and help people. And those are the foundation that everything else I believe just falls in, because then all the major three things that you just said falls in line.
Absolutely. You know, I want to give a shout out to my friend Corey, who just joined on Instagram. And he actually, I don't know if he's going to remember this, because this was, I think, over a decade ago, but he's a rocket scientist. He's a brilliant guy. And he actually put me on to a book back in the day. I think it was called Learned Optimism. I want to try to remember the name. But I remember going on this path of learning how to be optimistic. And at first it did not sound right to me to learn how to be optimistic. That sounds like that sounded like the definition of being inauthentic. But what I realized was that optimism is really about it's about hope. It's about perspective. It's about seeing the best in people. It's about seeing the best in situations. It's about knowing that the trials and tribulations that we're going through in our life right now, that is going to ultimately help define who we are. It's going to help define our purpose, to activate neurons in our mind and cells in our body to go out and take action, to fulfill our purpose, and to ultimately help people and progress mankind. That's a big word, but I really, truly mean it. And I think that, you know, people in sales, they go through a lot. There's a lot of rejection in sales. I mean, the other day I had someone door knock me to sell me fiber optic, and the level of low zero trust that I had for this person when they knocked on the door and buzzed the bell was like they were like breaking into my house. And I realized, it's like, you know what, correct yourself, remove the sense of self-protection and say, you know what, let me just open my ears for a second. You know, after I sort of make sure everything's cool here, let me just open my ears and just give them at least 30 seconds. And all of a sudden, I realized that this was an amazing opportunity. I ended up signing up for AT&T fiber optic, and I 20x'd my bill, and I cut the bill in, I 20x'd the speed and cut the bill in half, all because I chose to be optimistic. I chose to see the best in people. I chose to choose listening over fear. And, you know, the idea of sharing stories the way that you do is what we want to be able to capture and teach people, because it might seem effortless to you, but that's not because you were born with a gift. It's because you practiced. It's because you had the right mentors. It's because you were watching those videos, the Jim Rohns, the Anthony Robbins. Those are our mentors, right? We love them.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Gitomer, the king of sales. He's one of my mentors. I met him in person multiple times. He's been on our podcast. You know,
I have some of this too.
Yeah. Shout out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, how are you?
Over here is oh yeah. I saw that he's part of you. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Really, I mean that. Yeah,
they're so important. And you know, my son's 16. You know, and it's funny
16.
Talking about
wow, my kid's 11, so I'm like preparing.
And I'll give you a story. He goes, Dad, I got to get my permit. What am I going to drive? Yeah. I go to the shed and get your bicycle. You can drive that up and down the street. But no, the thing is. Well,
actually, I have to say this, that a lot of 16-year-olds right now are like, driver's license. I'm good.
I know. It's some of our, thank God he hasn't pushed it yet, because he's all tied in with football.
There you go.
You're talking about mentorship. You know, I try, you know, to give everything I can, my family's that. But then there's things where Think and Grow Rich, Dr. Napoleon Hill, you know, How to Win Friends, Influence People, The Richest Man in Babylon. I mean, you know, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Green Lights I just bought by Matthew McConaughey, which I haven't read yet, that I can't wait to read. I went to
so you just dropped some really good book recommendations. Let's just punch through that list, because I think you named the top. I've read every book except the last one, I think. Run through that. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Napoleon Hill, must read. Yeah. Keep it by your bedside. Honestly, that's one of those books that you keep by your bedside.
Yeah.
Number 2 was How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. I had a boss that told me to read that book 2 times, not once, 2 times, because I didn't get it the first time. And it takes a lot of time to be able to learn that book.
You're growing and developing as an entrepreneur or a salesman. So as you get older, you read it and you're like, I get it.
Yeah. And
you grow rich, I read it all the time.
Yeah, I have one ask when you read that book, though, is go through the filter of modernizing it a little bit. Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, my secretary does this. And he'll do that old school language. But just that's not the important part. The important part is humility, accountability, instilling confidence into people, seeing the best in people. Like, it's amazing, burn the boats. Like, it just keeps going and going and going. Book Rec 3, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Amazing book, right? Yeah. It's like, how many, I live in Los Angeles. Do you know how often I see an apartment building with a Lamborghini in the parking lot?
I bet. And these are all right here.
Yeah, perfect.
Right in my office. This is another one, Stephen Covey, right?
Right.
I have them right here.
Yeah, the 7 habits of successful people.
Yeah. And you got these two, right? I mean, these are always here because I was talking, John Maxwell, 21 years of leadership. This one I can't wait to start diving in. I've been so busy, but I watched a couple of videos.
Okay, so this is Green Lights by our boy Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Yeah. So I got that, and I ended up buying the journal too, so I could start journaling too.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, so what I shared, and I learned this from a mentor of mine. There's my son, now helping with cutting the grass and cleaning the house. He's getting older, yes. But and the thing is, he's, Dad, I want to get a job. I'm like, you're not getting a job. Your job is we're just finalizing. There's a couple things for this semester because he has to read certain books. I said, okay. So when you finish reading Green Lights, because he wants to read it first, I said, I'm going to give you $30. You give me $30, Dad? I go, I'll give you $30 to read that book. But you're not going to be AI in it, and you're not going to be just ripping through. I want you to read the book. You're going to read the book. And then we're going to go from that one. We'll go to another one because he sped through Think and Grow Rich. He thought it was a slick because he already, he read in a lot of the stories, R.U. Darby, 3 Feet from the Goal, and all those things. But one of the things that I learned from one of my mentors is, wait a minute, what are we teaching our children? And each parent does what they want to do. For me, I want my son to learn something. You didn't read it. He's going to get value in it to move forward. Might not connect yet, but there might be one little nugget in there, something that can help on his journey now. As he's in a brand new school, he's maybe not getting the opportunities. He's a running back, and he was the star at the school he was at. Now he's, Dad, I'm not getting all the time I should have. And he's only a junior, so he went from JV to varsity. So he's learning, as I'm learning as a dad, to keep my mouth shut and to say, hey, son, you have to go up to coach and ask coach, how can I earn an opportunity to get more playing time? How can I earn? So it's amazing. I'm teaching and trying to mentor my son, but as I'm going on this journey as a father, he's also teaching me, and life's teaching me, and the good Lord up above, as I'm going through this, like, hey, Glenn, keep your mouth quiet. Don't go talk to the coach. Now you teach your son. It's a closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't ask, you'll never GT. Son, you got to be able to communicate and connect with people. And the thing, Ruben, that I really teach, and as a coach and everything, especially after COVID and the world that we live in now with emojis and texting and all that stuff, these kids today, their heads are down. They think they could just send a quick emoji. They don't know how to really communicate and connect with a human being. You see in school, my father still works in the school I was at. And this is really important. Ruben, hear this out. They opened up and redid in the summer here a whole spot for socialization. They're making their cafeteria and their lunchroom with other games and board games, so they talk. Well, in 1994, when I graduated, they had to tell us to shut up. Right? It's so crazy because the world we live in now, you got to have that human communication, and it's. I'm a talker, obviously, right? And so is my dad, but now I'm sharing with my son. I'm like, son, now you have to learn the communication skills, buddy. So,
right. Okay, so
ramble there, but
you're good. You're good. I love that. One idea that I'd like to present to you which I'm really excited about from what you just delivered, which is amazing. And then number 2 is a note with respect to socialization. Do you know the difference between green Scotch tape and purple Scotch tape?
Nope.
Purple Scotch tape is the kind that's removable. So people in arts and crafts that do like gifting and temporary tape, they use the purple Scotch tape. But if you want something a little bit more permanent, that's going to peel off the like paper, the wrapping paper, then use the green one. I would like to present to you the purple Scotch tape $20 bill in the back of a book for our kids.
Love it.
So you take that book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Everyone should have it by their bedside. You put you mentioned $30, so let's say a $30 bill.
Yeah.
Fun. You put the 20 and the 10 in there with the purple Scotch tape, and it's literally waiting for them to finish the book.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I am stealing that idea.
No, we came up with it together because right now I do Audible with him on our road trips. Like, he loves to go fishing, so we go on these road trips and we do Audible. I'm like, you're gonna read the top 100 books with me. Period. Full stop. You have to do it.
Glen has Audible too. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, we're on Call of the Wild right now, and the physical book, on the other hand, it's a tough ask. I mean, if my dad asked me when he was around when I was a kid, if he asked me to read one of those books, oh God, there's just a 0% chance. 0%
I was never doing it, Ruben.
So it's like, is it bad? Is this bribing? Is it bribing? Is it rewarding?
Yeah, I like to say, what my mentor said was, Glenn, instead of having them cut grass, why don't you have them read a book and pay them? You're going to pay them to cut grass and do laundry and fold laundry. How about having them do something that they can really take with them? Now, don't get me wrong, cutting grass and doing laundry is a life skill, and they learn that as well.
Yeah.
Glenn don't have a choice with that. He lives here as me and him, so he's got to help Dad out. But yeah, it was.
I got it. Mow the lawn with the headphones in with Audible, assuming that people are okay with audiobooks. I am. And double your rate. $10 an hour if you mow the lawn without Audible. 20.
I love it. I love it. Hey, look at it. I'm writing notes now, my friend. I'm stealing it. I love it.
The second thing that you mentioned with respect to socialization, there's this thing that I think that's happened since the beginning of mankind, which is that people that are young think like we know everything, and the older generation are just old dogs. Like, I used to laugh at my dad when he was around. Rest in peace. He'd be like, "Hey, how much was that coffee?" And I'd be like this was like 5 years ago, $3. Yeah, $3. What are you talking about? What kind of coffee is that? Does it have gold in it? Now it's like $7 to get a coffee with a straw in it.
No, Sebastian Maniscalco, the famous comedian, talks about his dad when he comes over. He's got to give him the parent price.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah,
but there's something that happens when we just open our ears and we start to listen to people, and we filter through the gray hair and the wrinkles and the stories and that stuff, which is relevant and sometimes entertaining, but the wisdom that we get when we listen to people and we feel their struggle. Like, I don't know what it's like to work in retail. I've worked door-to-door sales. I sold shoes when I was in 16. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kirby cleaners.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I worked at the Wild Pear in the Northridge Mall, and door-to-door sales. I don't know what it's like to work in retail right now, but I know that how often does it happen where someone waited in a line to get to the front, and then all of a sudden they're at the counter, and they're like, I don't know what to order. Do you guys sell sandwiches here? And it's like, it's called the sandwich shop. And all of a sudden, you get this like scathing remark, and you can judge people like that. There's a judgment that can occur there. And sometimes you're having a bad day and it's natural and normal. But then you peel back the onion and you say, you know what? This person has three kids. Oh my God. And one of those kids is having a really hard, they're deregulated. That this parent now is dealing with the situation with 3 kids. One of them is deregulated. They're probably hungry. low blood sugar levels, probably tired. Maybe they were sitting in a car for 4 hours. Who knows what's going on? All of a sudden, you change the perspective and you go from
Ruben, you're 100% right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you change it from
I got a story.
I'm going to judge you. I'm impatient. I don't want to deal with this. To either I should feel compassion for this mom, or I should make sure to wear protection to never be in this situation.
Yeah, that too. A long time ago, I heard this right to your story, but this really hit me. There was a man on the bus, and the man had 3 children, and he was on the train. I'm sorry, he was in the train, and the kids were running all over the train, running up and down, and the man he was sitting there and just staring off in the world. And a lot of people were just, looking at him like, what the heck's wrong with this guy? Why doesn't he get his kids and help with, contain his kids? Like, what? And it kept going. Each stop kept going. And then the one person next to him said, sir, excuse me, don't you see that your kids are running all over the place and going crazy? And the guy looks at the person, he goes, I'm so sorry. I just lost my wife, their mother, to cancer. And I don't know how I'm going to explain this to them, that their mother's always gone, always will be gone. And it was like, whoa, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what people are going through. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm praying, that we have more compassion in this world. That really take a time out. Someone's going through something, maybe ask them, sir, can I help you? Or what? Be polite and respectful. Yeah. But that was another, a big paradigm of opening my ears. And it took, let me tell you, I'm still learning that, Ruben. I'm a talker, right? I always teach the 4. I learned this from Jeffrey Combs, an animal factor. Some people call it DISC. Some people, many ways. It's a lion, owl, monkey, and koala. And lions get right to the point. So after their voicemail, you know what to do after the tone, and then you got your monkey, which is your party guy, swings from tree to tree. Hey, this is Glenn, man. Leave your message. I'll call you. Wait, run down with the Bills game. And then you got your analytical person. They're going to have pens in the pockets, and they're an owl. And this is Glen Echeverria. It is, 4:15 p.m. Please leave your name. And then a koala. I'm so sorry I missed your call. They want to save the world. And those 4 personality types I always teach and train within certain things, so we can have an understanding of how to, with from what I learned from Anthony Robbins, 3% is words we say, 38% voice use, 55% body movement vibration, and then those animal factors, so we could really have an understanding of how to communicate, connect with people. When I send video emails, I've been doing this for 20 years now. I always send a documentation and a video, so they'll have, according to their personality type. When I was building websites, they'll have a video, tutorial, but then there's people that want to read it and want to read step by step. So I make sure that I play through all those types of personalities.
Okay, so this is a really important thing that we're talking about here. We're talking about meeting people where they are.
Yeah.
Respecting that not everyone is like you, not everyone is like me. And if I try to communicate in a way, whether it's with my words, whether it's with my body language, whether it's with my video emails that I sent, we have to understand that there's different types of people that think differently. And I really like what you said, where you're thinking about a quadrant. Now, obviously, there's gray areas and people are different depending on, is it Friday at 5 p.m. or is it a Monday at 8 a.m.? People are dynamic like that. We all know that. But at the same time, we root ourselves. We root ourselves in something that feels comfortable. And I really like this idea of putting yourself outside of your perspective so that you can meet people where they are. This is a very valuable skill. They don't teach that in school. We don't even know what to call it, really. But
it's timing. It's really the timing in someone's life. And Ruben, I'm still learning this. I've come a long way at 49 years young, from shutting my mouth and listening and asking the proper questions.
76, baby.
It's yes, sir. And I'm still learning to ask the proper questions, listen, and see if it's the right timing. When it was the network marketing profession, listen, there's times in my life that through your like Jim Rohn says, your summer and winter and fall and all those times where it's just not the right time. If you're a single dad, you got 2 kids and you're working full time, you're trying, and it really, or in the business world that I'm in now and get their question answered. Is it the right fit? It might not be. It's okay if it's not. Where back when I was younger, I tried selling everybody everything because I didn't understand. I was still growing and developing and learning. But when you meet someone on their path, wherever they are trying to build their book of business, wherever they are trying to change the quality of their life, if it's an extra $500 a month that takes half this country out of bankruptcy, or maybe someone's an extreme entrepreneur, they want whatever it is, it may or may not be the right timing or the right fit, and that's okay. You keep going, and in my profession, you still don't burn that bridge, which I never do. You have that good, solid relationship. Say, hey, Ruben, when the timing is right for you, or if you do go down this road with AWS and my corporate role, please make sure. I would love to have an opportunity to reconnect with you on that. If there's anything, meanwhile, please don't hesitate to reach out and assist, and I'll be able to help in anything I can, according to wherever you're at. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But it took a while to learn that, Ruben. It really did.
Sense. Yeah. No, that's it. It literally makes sense. It makes money.
Yeah.
It makes money. This information that you're sharing makes money. That is something that we want to share with the world. And when we say money, we don't say it in a self-serving sort of greedy way. We mean exchanging value. That's what we're all about here. So I love that. Yeah. Amazing.
This has been great, man. This has been. So I'm so happy that you reached out. Sorry for the delay.
No,
I mean, it's with Ingram, and we've been putting so many things in place on the corporate side, and football season started. So I already told you I'm a single dad and running around, but I'm finally happy to connect with you and really go back and forth. And hey, I'm taking that purple tape, man. I am taking that, and I'm taking the cutting the grass at the same time. Yeah. And I'm taking with that.
You know what? I thought of it because of you. So you're the co-inventor of those ideas.
I love it. I love it.
This is the, just to recap that, it's if you got kids, purple Scotch tape, because that's a removable one.
That's
Scotch
right.
Tape, a $20 bill to the back, or 50 or 100, whatever you want.
Wait till they're done with their audible and cutting that grass and folding their laundry.
And then double the rate, double their hourly rate while they're mowing the lawn, putting laundry away to get them to listen to audible books. Amazing.
You think about this, Ruben. They don't know, but it's going to hit the power of their subconscious mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. That's not about. So they don't know that because they're so young, right? But at least that's getting in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right. So tell me about how can we do better at Dub from a technological perspective, from a customer service perspective, from a results perspective. I'd love to get your feedback on using Dub. You're very proficient at it. I've seen your landing pages. In fact, I can actually even pull up, if it's okay with you, I can pull up one of your landing pages just to show people how much time you've put into building up your landing page, which is a preset. You set it one time and it's done.
Love it. I have 4 presets.
But give me your take on this.
First of all, Ruben, and I'm sincere. My hat is off to you and Darius and to the entire team at Dub. It's funny how God works in mysterious ways, because I was looking at a company, and I mentioned them previously, but I was looking at them and I was hoping that they were going to have everything that you do. And when they didn't even come close, I went on ChatGPT and I said, what is the best video email service that's out there? Now, at the time, I had multiple different platforms, and I had accounts with them, and I'm looking for certain things. Some of them were too much, some were too cumbersome, some were this, that, and the other, and all these things. And when I said, what the heck, I've heard of all these because I've been around doing this for years, and I never heard of Dub. And I went in and got the free account and started going around, and then I connected with Darius, and we went through, and I am absolutely floored and blown away because it's everything that was praying for and wanted within a service. What you've put together is everything. I mean, from the calls to action, the presets, and it's not just the intro for me, what I'm doing. The intro and the outreach and the recruit is one part that I could see when they watched it, how long they watched it, did they click on a call to action. But then after they see a presentation on a Teams meeting, and now they're ready to get started. They're ready to start getting started, and there's a process to do that. with Ingram Micro and our company. So now I'm able to send another preset with a video tutorial and the documentation in there, and I see when they're watching it and clicking on it, so they know they're doing something to get that started. Then the next big thing is they're bringing their business over to Ingram Micro through AWS, and there's a process for that. And on top of all of that, it integrates, because I'm tracking it in Outlook, because you integrate in Outlook, it integrates into our Dynamics, which we call it, X4A, and so it's underneath the activity, so management can actually see all of it. So it's just incredible, so much so that I had a meeting yesterday. I was telling Darius, one of the top executives of Ingram Micro, and he's blown away. And I have a meeting coming up, which I'll be, reaching out to yourself and Darius for the entire company, because I just believe if you're in the sales profession, even in not only the sales, but the customer service, helping someone, whatever it may be, with the screen share and showing them or whatever it is, this platform that you've built and created can help and assist on all of those. And it's fun on top of it. I mean, I love it. I love it. And I didn't even talk about the AI. I didn't even talk about the features that you can put in there. I didn't even talk about the trimming and the things that you can do with video. Right after my video, I can have that video play. You can change it right when you're done with the video. You can alter things before you send it out. It's integrated into your Gmail. I mean, I could go on and on, because I was praying that the company I got involved with was going to launch that. And when they fell beyond way short, the good Lord brought me to you guys. And again, I'm not trying to get religious, but I just believe in that. And
Amen.
Here I am with you guys. And I'm really, really excited to working together with you guys. I'm going to be using this for forever. And then I really built that relationship with you and Darius that I feel right by it. And I just feel anybody out there really that wants to build a solid longevity of business, you have to build human communication, and you have to build relationships to have a longevity of business. Because if you don't, when that person down the street is a little bit cheaper, they're not even going to contact you to give you a chance to keep that and save that business. They're going to be gone, because there's no communication, there's no relationship there. And look, I'm old school, I'm belly to belly. But if I can't get belly to belly, and I got a big one here in Buffalo with all those beers and wings we were eating for the Bills games, this is what I want to get to, and then go to and meet them in person as well. But I'm a fan. I'm excited to work together with you guys on so many different levels, and it's just keep going. I know you guys are, but please keep going, because it's a really incredible platform. And when the world finds out about it, it's not just the sales and all that other stuff, Ruben. It's going to impact and change people's lives ultimately. And when you get on that level, that's serious stuff. When you really help someone that lands a deal that changes their business or changes their outlook on things or their financial situation, and it puts an extra $500 in someone's pocket for that month when they're a single father or mother with multiple kids, and because of this, that's where I really get passionate about, because I love helping people. But my hat's off. I don't want to keep going, because I can keep going for hours.
Thank you. On behalf of the Dub team, thank you so much. That means the world to me for you to share that. I guess my question would be, you've been using this technology for a long time, so you are the definition of an early adopter. But my question is, what do the results look like? What was it like before, where it's text-based emails, maybe getting ignored, and you end up in the delete folder? What did it look like before, and then what does it look like now? Give me that sort of change state.
That's great. Well, first of all, I hate typing. I'm not that guy. I got fat fingers to begin with. I was like this in typing class with a typewriter back in 92 or whatever when we started doing it. And so that was number one. Number two, when I started sending videos out, when you could track it. Yeah. So when you see someone watched it and how long they watched it for. So sometimes I could talk too much, right? Yeah. So I could see if they only watched 20% of it, it's like, maybe I should start changing my messaging. But I think that's a very extremely important part of this platform. Not only how long you watch the video for, but the calls to action and all of those other things. But back to what you were saying, you look at when you send a blank text email, if it's long, and you're working all day, you got 3 screens, and you're in the tech world like I am, you're not reading it unless it's pertaining to what you're looking for that email. of an answer or a solution or something's going on. You got, in our world, it's a migration and we got to get this done by that. That's different. But when you're outreaching your sales and you send a long email, first of all, you don't even know if they read it. What did they read? How did they say it? You got to watch out for exclamation points if you highlight and bold certain things. And then obviously going back to what I said with human communication and connection. So it's literally night and day, and when people start really using video email, I'm blown away that they're still not, because I started using this 20 years ago, so to see the video email, I see what live broadcasting did with Zoom and with Teams meeting. I see what video face-to-face with Drive, all of our iPhones and stuff like that. But video email is still, it's incredible. When people, some point, they're going to grasp onto it. And the people that do and the companies that do, it's going to be absolutely extraordinary for their business and ultimately for their life.
Amazing. So what do you think that the result, what do you think the increase is? Like if we were to say, how much does this increase your responses to emails, or how much does this increase your sales? Like what numbers, like it's hard to ask this question because, we don't calculate it, but if you were to guesstimate, what would you say?
Well, here's the thing. You never knew before. Now you can at least know, unless they reply to you, but at least when they're watching something, how many times are you getting in front of somebody's eyeballs? Do you know if they saw what you sent? Well, if you sent the video and you got tracking on it, obviously you can see that. For me, so far, what I'm doing, and now we're really about to launch a certain campaign that we have going on. I mean, it's well over 50%, which is absolutely huge. I mean, I'm sending video emails out there. I loved your video intro. Yeah, I'm a football fan because I go business level, human level, business level, human level. And they, from there, I'm able to schedule that meeting with them, and then I go take them down the path. But it's I can't wait to see. And then the results that are going to happen from it. So that's first is one, what you're talking about, which I'm going to have more on the certain campaigns that we're doing, which I can't wait because I'm going to be delivering to a major company, but with the connection with people and from that, but then the results that happen because you're building that rapport, because you're reaching out. Oh, wait a minute. That was pretty unique. That was pretty cool. I like this guy. Let me hear what he's got to say. Now you have an opportunity that you never had before with simple text.
Well, here's what's really interesting. The average response rate for a business email is anywhere from 1 to 8. How are you doing on time?
I got to fly in about 1 minute.
Okay, cool. Here's what's really interesting. The average response rate is 1 to 8% on business emails. If you are receiving a 50% response rate on your emails, you have increased your response rate for your sales emails anywhere from 6 to 50x. Like, just think about that for a second. If you want to increase your response rates for sales from 6 to 50x, do what Glen is doing. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Glen, I really appreciate you. Close your next deal at your next meeting. I can't wait.
That's what I'm about to go on right now.
You got this. You got this, man.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And I will be in touch soon, my friend. And last but not least, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. And I always got to say, go Bills.
Go Bills. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Thank you for watching this podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Dub, the video sales platform powered by AI to help you to get more responses to your emails, like what Glen's doing, to get more meetings in your calendar, and ultimately to get more conversions and clients, which means more revenue for your company and income for yourself. If you want to grab a free trial to Dub, go to dub.com, grab a free trial, no credit card required, and just try it out for yourself. There's a mobile app, there's a Chrome extension, there's a desktop app, tons of tech, but forget about the tech. The tech will present itself. It's about the results. So if you want to increase your sales email response rate by anywhere from 6 to 50x, like what Glen is doing, check this out, try it for yourself, and come meet us live. We have, believe it or not, we have 4 live support calls every single weekday where you can pop in from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., where you can pop in and you can meet someone from our team, probably Rob, who's an amazing coach. Like, go meet Rob in Zoom. You'll see it when you sign in on the free trial. And here's to your success. Thank you for being the best part about Dub. We'll see you at the next one. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to my boy JC here, J1, because he's always winning. Filmmaker. You're going to see this guy. He's coming up, and he's coming for you guys. You'll see him on Netflix. Right, Juan? All right. There you go. See you guys. Bye. See you guys. Thanks.